You see me coming, you feel like running. That wicked look is in your eyes. I don't come to harm you, I come to warn you. It's now or never, do or die. 'Cause I had a vision, a head-on collision, a revelation, yeah, that set me on a mission. I come in peace. Love is a gold mine, yeah. I come in peace. To find it, you have to seek it. Follow your heart's sign. I come in peace. It's flowing rich and deep, and well within our reach. I come in peace. I come in peace. Arrived with nothing, and let me tell you something. We're going out the same way. I've got your attention, maybe I should mention, will be no rest in peace in me. I come in peace. Love is a gold mine, yeah. I come in peace. To find it, you have to seek it. Follow your heart's sign. I come in peace. It's flowing rich and deep, and well within our reach. I come in peace. I come in peace. I had a vision, a head-on collision, a revelation, yeah, that set me on a mission. I come in peace. Love is a gold mine, yeah. I come in peace. To find it, you have to seek it. Follow your heart's sign. I come in peace. It's flowing rich and deep, and well within our reach. I come in peace. I come in peace. Oh yeah. I come in from the heart. You know. I come in peace and love. I come in peace.
Kreativno društvo. Žeđ za životom.
Dobar dan, slušateljima. Dobrodošli u emisiju Kreativno društvo Žeđ za životom. Danas su s vama Draženi Žele i još jedan posebni gost. Emisija će danas biti specijalna, a po čemu će biti specijalna zaključit ćete vrlo brzo. Greetings all dear listeners, whether you are tourists, whether you are on business trip or you are locals that understand English. Today is the 19th show called Creative Society Thirst for Life, and it is the first show that will be broadcast on English language. Why on English language? Why not? You know? There is a lots of foreigners that are listening this radio show, and it is their opportunity and our opportunity to hear about the most important informations that they are going ever to hear about. This is, of course, the informations about the creative society. But the main reason why we broadcast this show on English, because we have an international guest today in studio. With us is Marek Jakubis from Slovakia. Hello, Marek.
Hello, everyone.
Marek is volunteer of the Creative Society. You remember when I was speaking that there is Creative Society in 180 countries around the world. Maybe you won't believe me about this, but the Marek will be the evidence that there are lots of people around the world that are speaking about Creative Society. So, let's not waste anybody's time here because we are very short. So, let's go with the topic. Marek, what is Creative Society?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me welcome everyone to the show, to listeners. So, what is Creative Society? Creative Society is a worldwide initiative of people, just like you or me or Dražen here, who actually understand that the world is not really heading towards a direction where we would like to be. There are a lot of crises. We can see everything is going up, you know, the prices on one hand. On the other hand, a lot of people have got struggles obtaining food, water, you know, are starving. And so far, despite all of the actions of the international organizations, governments, and I mean all the activists, nothing is really changing, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why people understood that these authorities will not do anything for us. And this was the foundation for creating a project, a worldwide initiative that can change the world, as we can see. Yes, of course.
So we are in the business of changing the world.
Changing the conditions in which we all live, right? Mm-hmm. So, because on one hand, as already mentioned, there are very few people who are very rich. On the other hand, there are billions of people who are struggling with essential necessities, right? Mm-hmm. As you could have heard, so human is the only species that needs to earn for living on Earth, right? And so, but we need to understand that this is a system that we human created, right? All of this central banking and monetary system in which we need to work to survive, actually, right? Yes. So, and in which we delegate our power to few representatives who
forget that they are representing us. Yes.
Exactly. And so there are essentially a couple of pillars based on which we can achieve that the power as we know it will not any longer belong to few representatives, will not belong to politicians, but will be put back to all of us, all of the people. And this is the way how we can really change things.
Okay, maybe couple of questions arises, but we have now this is democracy. The power is on the people's hands. We are vote for our representatives. They are representing us. Let's say this world is ours, and on paper we have all the rights. The United Nations Charter, all the declarations that are protecting our lives. So what is new about this creative society?
So if they are all protecting our lives, why there are people dying in wars?
Good question. Yes.
If they are protecting our lives, why there are 800 million people who go to bed every night without food?
Yes.
Right, hungry. Mm-hmm. Why there are people dying from thirst?
Yes. So, no, hygienic sanitation, very bad. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so it turns out that, as you've mentioned, that all of these human rights are only on paper. but if you want to achieve something, there is no one you can go to, actually, because as I've heard recently, all of the politicians, they are enjoying one bathtub,
One. Yes, I heard that also. In outside they are arguing each other and they confront each other and accusation among each others. But on the other side of the curtain, they are all going in one direction. And can we call this direction greed or egoism, or I don't know. How can you describe this?
Yeah. First of all, what I would like to mention is that we are not accusing anyone, because even these politicians, bankers are just people, right? And the problem is not them. The problem is the consumer format of society. In which they are given power. And there have been a lot of psychological experiments done. If may it be the best person is given power, he will completely change and will kind of lose touch with people, and he can turn into a tyrant. So what creative society is putting stress on is really that the power needs to be returned back to people. There can't be any, let's say, a single person or a small group of people who have got power of over billions of people, right? Because and this is the system, and this is that we need to change it.
So basically, it means it doesn't matter how bad or good intentions some people have. In this kind of society that we call consumer society, it's by default that everything goes wrong. Everything goes against the human society. Everything that goes against the human. So how is it possible that we made such a system that it is against us?
Yeah, and there is one word, and this is division. We are divided. We are divided into nations. We are divided into religions. We are divided into those ones who support West, who support East, who support one politician or the other, right? And we are divided in every way.
Yes.
And the only way out is to unite, right? So let's say, let's provide an example. You have got a neighbor, and you know that your neighbor is kind of in favor of a different, has got a different political view, and so you have got this idea in your mind. Okay, he's supporting the other side. I will not talk to him. But the point is here that we all are human, and we all have got only one home, and this is planet Earth. We don't have any other home, and we are very, let's say, close to each other, right? And it's just that everyone wants to be happy, regardless of which religion you are, let's say, practicing, which other view, whatever view you have. You just want to be happy. Even the politicians, even the bankers, they want to be happy in a way, right?
Yes.
And this is the thing that unites people, right? And this has been confirmed by a 9-year social social experiment that the volunteers of Creative Society have been conducting over the 9 years, and who have been asking people on the streets in different countries, right? These were people of different nationalities, different social statuses. What unites all the people? And 99% of people said that it's, let's say, this humanity, which is in every one of us, right? And the point is, if we start to speak to people about things that unite us, right? And not speak
what divide us.
Divide us. Then this is the moment where we can come together, and where we can kind of start to pull on the one end of the road.
Things on our
right?
directions. Yes.
Exactly. On the directions of people, of quality of people's life, because this is what Creative Society is aimed at increasing everyone's quality of life. Every human on Earth, right? And so this is it.
Yes. Let's go one music number, and then we continue with the speak.
Kreativno društvo. Žeđ za životom.
Okay, Marek. So we people want to make a new society. We called it creative society. So why do we made it? What expects me there? By how much? By what is that makes this society better than this one? We all know that we don't live so bad. It's okay, but we understand that in this society everything is upside down. So what is going to look like in the creative society?
Yeah, we don't live so bad despite everything is upside down. You said it, you named it actually.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So why creative society? And the point why, for example, I personally support Project Creative Society is because no other initiative all over the world provides a reasonable and real opportunity for my kids to live a better life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's true.
I know that I've got 3 kids, and I know that in this world they don't have really any future.
No.
And this is constant fear, right? This is really I can see that they suffer in the school system, right? They need to learn a lot of things.
We all remember this, yes.
Yeah, that they don't really will be needing. Then after they finish school, they need immediately start working because they will have nowhere to live, and they will not be able to afford, living. So
yes.
But I know that this system is artificial. It has been artificially created by people. So why can we not change it? Right? It is not a, as we say, it is not a system. It's not physics, right?
Yeah, it's not the law that you cannot change it. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
And this is what Creative Society Initiative is aimed at. It's aimed at world without wars, right? It's aimed at world without debt. Today, a normal family, they usually, if they don't inherit anything, it's really difficult to purchase
we are all in debt. People, cities, counties, states, everybody is debt. We don't even know how much this debt is. Yes,
exactly. And and you said that we are living all is okay. All is okay until you don't get, for example, a serious disease.
Yes.
You can see so many, let's say, people begging for money over the social network just because they cannot afford to buy a treatment for their kids, right? And this should be everything available to people. And this is what creative society is, because the consumer format of society is money-centric. It's everything about money.
Money, yes.
Right? From hobbies, right? Today, people don't provide trainings or I don't know, hobbies just out of fun for kids. They do it because they either need to earn money or they want to profit on it. Right? Even schools. Today is a big problem in, let's say, the Western countries. People finish universities with really high debts. Then they realize that they don't get a job and they can't really pay off the debts. So everywhere you look, everywhere are debts, and everything in our society is only turning around money and profit, nothing else. Even it was very interesting, so we are here on a vacation, and I used to go to Croatia before it was Yugoslavia with my parents, and we always bought, for example, olive oil or from people, from private people,
domestics,
the domestics. Today it's not possible. You can, but it's so expensive, and it's kind of not really their own family business like you would know it.
No,
and,
it's not profitable anymore.
You can feel this consumerism.
Yeah.
I don't want to accuse anyone again. I see that people are living a hard life here, so everyone is trying to do their best to survive. you know, so they are pushed by the system.
Yes, we are like a boat on the sea, and the waves are just moving us all around. We don't know. We just looking to survive, not to drown into the sea. And one day we woke up and see that God knows where we are. God knows. We don't know where we sail. Nothing. We just like the boat on a stormy sea. And yes, you are right. There is no domestic products. There is no. People are doing this because of money. They are not doing this because they like this. They enjoy working on the land because they love olive oils. Yes, it's expensive. If there is not profitable, you know, people are asking you, what are you doing? We are informing people about Creative Society. Is there any, do you gain anything about this? How do you mean? Do you have any income? No, we don't. So why are you doing this? So this is just a way of thinking that if you don't have any use of that, if you don't have any income, it's useless to work about this. Yeah.
Yes, and now maybe many people can ask, okay, so and how Creative Society can solve all of this?
Yes,
right?
Very interesting question. Yes.
This is a very good question, and the point is technologies.
Mm-hmm.
If we can talk about technologies a little bit, you know. So
yes.
Today we can see there is a really technological progress, right? And the only thing is that the technology is not available to everyone. Right, in the current consumer format of society, where the technology is owned usually, you know, by private business,
yes.
who is interested to gain profit on it, right? So it's not really serving people.
No.
Today we already have got technologies that could treat a lot of diseases. Right?
Yes.
But
not today. We have it also in a recent past.
We have had it in a recent past.
Yes.
Then, if we go to, let's say, energy generation, why are we still paying for electricity? No one
owns electricity.
No one asks this question really. But I think this is a really legitimate question. Right?
Yes.
On the way here, we saw the Museum of Tesla.
So Smiljan, yes.
You know, so we already have had technologies based on which we would
can
need
free
to
ourselves, yes, and
exactly.
We can produce electricity on the spot, yes.
So where am I heading? In Creative Society, where there is no power, right, of one man over another, technologies are given the society. Technologies are given to everyone. And these technologies, maybe the people who are interested, you can watch the global forums where these technologies are introduced, such as free energy generators, such as the health capsule. That will be very interesting. We can also chat about it a little bit.
Yes, a replicator, yes.
Replicator, etc. So all these technologies will be given to everyone in a society. People will really become free. Really free, yes. Not like tied with a connector to if you want to charge your phone or something.
If you don't have a source, that source that be shut down, and if you didn't pay for the electricity, we all know if you don't have this basic water, electricity, food, you are not free, and you cannot be free, and you cannot develop in a good way for you as a human. Let's say we live like some kind of animals, as much as this word is a little bit harsh to say, but if you are only looking on how to survive, then we are not living, we are just surviving.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so the next question that my people ask is, okay, so where will you get all the money for this? Right?
Yeah, excellent question.
This is very good question. So today we live in a society where a small group of people kind of usurped the right to print money, even though you cannot really call it printing today any longer, right?
It's issuing, let's say.
Issuing money. And the point is that and this small group is, let's say, the central banks are private, right? Thanks to the fact that the power will be given back to people, people will be able to decide to create a new model of economy. Let's imagine a world fund where all 8 billion people on the planet will be shareholders and issuing as much money as needed, right?
Yes.
This will enable to have for everyone to have an unconditional basic income, whatever the society decides. Let's say 10,000 euro, right? Like a right from birth for everyone. And thanks to this, if you would like to, for example, reconstruct or build a new hospital and refurbish with new technologies, this fund would issue as much money as possible. If you would like to repair, let's say, roads, if you would like to do any other development, so we would have enough money for anything. So sentence like "we don't have enough money," like we keep hearing today every day, will no longer exist.
Okay, thank you, Marek. Let's make a little music and then we'll continue.
Kreativno društvo. Žeđ za životom.
Welcome back to the radio show Creative Society Thirst for Life. This is the first show on English language today because we have international guests, a volunteer of the Creative Society from Slovakia, Marek Jakubis. So Marek, please tell us a little bit about this new technology, especially about, let's say, a replicator. Why is it so significant, and what can we do with this in Creative Society, and why don't we have it today?
Yes. So today I've had a croissant for breakfast. And if you imagine all the way how the croissant is being prepared and what, let's say, machinery you need.
Yeah, lots of steps. Yes.
So many steps, you know?
Yes, from the land, then the harvesting this and making the flour, and then transporting this. Oh, huge business. Yes.
Exactly. And it is not only about croissant, but everything around us that we can see has been produced, right? And has got
lots of logistics, lots of expenses, lots of energy waste. Yes.
Exactly. All this, you know, can be passed with the technology called replicator. Today, even the ordinary physics tells us that everything that we can see around us consists of elementary particles, you know, from atoms, from electrons, you know, protons, etc.
Yes.
Right? If we drill down, we can go to quarks, etc. And
a couple of small particles, and whole world is made out of it. Yes.
Exactly. If you know how these particles are structured, and if you have, let's say, the power to structure these particles, then essentially you can create anything, any non-living object out of them, right? So the replicator technology is really similar to a microwave, and there is a cartridge with these elementary particles, and based on a program you can create inside of this machine any object. And this technology has been also introduced on the global forum. Who would like to have got more information about it, you can see the videos
on YouTube channel.
Yes, on the Creative Society channel. And so with this replicator, imagine having it at home. You can essentially create everything. From food, clothes, smartphones, you know, laptop,
croissant, of course, yes,
everything. Then the next technology that people will be having at home is the utilizer or utilizator, and this is essentially the same of replicator, but it is doing the opposite, the opposite thing. That means that it is decomposing any object into elementary particles and essentially charging the cartridge, right? That means that imagine no more waste. So
we are 100% recycling.
The waste is today, let's say,
big problem.
If not the biggest, then one of the biggest problems of humanity, right? Everywhere, in oceans, in landfills, everywhere in cities, right?
In our bodies.
In our bodies, of course.
Yes.
And imagine having this technology at home is like a bin. It's just the utilizer, right? You can do everything. You can put everything in it. You know, you have got your child has got a T-shirt, like spills over some water. You don't need to wash. You just put it into utilizer and create a new T-shirt
without the stand. Yes, without the anything to wash over.
And you will even have more elementary particles
left
out of a dirty shirt, right? So, and imagine how easy we can then clean our planet, right? For example, plastic is very rich for elementary particles. From a very small plastic, let's say, waste, you can create anything, essentially.
That means that we have, let's say, 1 cubic meter of plastic. We can make couple of cubic meters of some other material.
Exactly. And imagine today waste is a very big problem in the oceans. So there are a lot of companies who take the waste out of the ocean, but no one shows what is being done with the waste then, because we know that not even 10% of plastic waste can be recycled, and we cannot really speak about recycling because it's decycling, because you cannot, after this recycling process, you cannot really utilize the plastic for, let's say, product of the same quality. So you degrade the quality of the products, and then at the end you either burn it or put it on a landfill or anything. So today we don't have technology in creative society. And now a thought comes to my mind: why only in creative society? Just imagine having this opportunity to create or decompose any object in our society today. What would happen? So this technology or the patent would be immediately bought by, let's say, a private fund, and they would utilize it
for the military purposes or something like this.
Exactly. Like all the new technologies. Let's say this is also one aspect of current consumer format of society. The best scientists who should be working for society, are in underground laboratories creating new, even more destructive weapons. This is the reason why we need to change the format of society first, and then we can start utilizing free energy, we can start utilizing replicator, utilizer, and even the health capsule, because our body also consists of elementary particles, right? And if you have got the information of a functional organ in your body,
you can create it.
You can either create it, or you can, let's say, correct its functionality, let's say, without any operation, etc.
It's a similar, like, let's say, debugging some software or something like this.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Just imagine today there is a lot of advertisement for this new movie talking about child trafficking.
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom, and this is a really big problem. And it was shown on one of the global forums by the volunteers of Creative Society how many millions of people are being traded for organs.
Organ harvesting,
human farms, let's say, in Africa, where women are made pregnant and then the child is
extracted, let's say, like
extracted, unfortunately.
Or they buy them, or we have an issue in Croatia this year about this, but we are speaking about this another time. Yes.
This is a really hard topic, and we should not be closing our eyes in front of it. Today, a lot of people close their eyes because there is no solution. In creative society, this problem will no longer exist. Because why this is happening? This is happening because of money. But if everyone will have, let's say, basic income, all the 8 billion people on the planet, why would I do this?
Yes, you won't compromise yourself, you won't selling your spirit, your soul for any money, because you have everything that you need, basically. I was speaking to one journalist, a couple of months ago, and he says that journalists are selling themselves. Let's say they write an article that is disinformation, not true, for, let's say, 200, 300 euros. But they are forced to do it because they don't have money, the wages are small. And even they do understand that what are printing and what are writing is not true. They just looking this as if I don't do this, someone else, and that's true, someone else will do. But in the creative society, he would never do this because it's a crime. Disinformation, it's a crime. It's illegal. That's not only about the journalism. Everything is working like this. People suppress their conscious. They know what is right, what is wrong. But in this society, if you have to put the truth on one side and the money on the other side, sadly the money in most ways prevails.
Exactly. And now many people may be asking, if everyone will have a basic income, who will then work?
Good question.
We are so used to this phenomenon as work that we can no longer even think that we wouldn't need to work, right? How would this work? Very easily. So with the help of robotics, with the help of artificial intelligence, essentially everything can be created today with the help of all of these technologies. That means that a human would no longer need to do all of this hard work, like foundations for a construction, or I don't know what, hard work. So this is one of the major advantage that frees up a lot of time for everyone. Imagine today how many people, like for example, there are a lot of people who enjoy art, who like play piano, who like singing, but they don't do it because they wouldn't survive.
Yes,
so they go and take a job and fill in Excel spreadsheets or something like that, instead of
doing what they like to do.
Doing what they like. With help of the universal basic income, everyone could do everything what you would like to, right? So we could start living a different way of life. If you take for example, the Maslow pyramid of needs, right? So it says, based on this theory, a human is not able or is not willing to fulfill, let's say, higher goals unless
they fulfill the basic ones. Yes.
The basic ones are covered. And imagine the current consumer format of society. What is it based on? We are putting predominantly our attention to survive. Waking up in the morning, then working all day, and then going to sleep.
And then tomorrow again, the same.
Tomorrow again. So we are focused on survival. We don't have any time to, let's say, think of something else, some other higher goals, some creation, etc. So, and this won't be in creative society, because
I mentioned before on this radio station this experiment about Mouse Utopia. It was speaking about how the society that doesn't have any bigger aims, any bigger broad views about the life, but they are just looking on the survival, that the destiny of this society is to fall down, to break apart. So basically for human, we are now, let's say, on this edge to break down as a society if we don't find our greater cause, our greater fulfillment or the aim, cause.
Absolutely. And just imagine now, maybe someone can call us futurologists or some kind of utopians or something, but just imagine, we are living here on this tiny planet inside of the solar system, in Sophora arm, and there are billions of galaxies. Scientists, astronomers already discovered billions of exoplanets that would be suitable for life. Just imagine what opportunities would open in front of the civilization if we ended up all wars, if we ended up the real slavery that we have got today. People could start traveling to space and
to other planets. Yes.
This would give a totally different, let's say, way of development.
I have to admit that the first thing that catch my eye, catch my heart, was this one, when they say in the creative society we can go out to the space because we have all the energy, the means, the knowledge about this. And I was imagining myself going to another planet. And I think that every human being, that most of the people are a little bit fed up with this closed system, with this closed consciousness that everything is looking through the gain, through the profit, and how to survive from the first to the end of the month. And of course, it is making us, let's say, a little bit defensive. We are not developing. The one scientist said that the state in human cell can be found in two states. One is defending, like armoring ourselves, and the other one is progress. It cannot be in both states immediately. So it means if we are constantly afraid for ourselves, if we are constantly defending ourselves, if we are constantly putting armor around ourselves, there is no progress.
Exactly. And it's not only the armor. If we just go one step back and speak about the stress. Mm-hmm. Stress is a, let's say, very widespread phenomenon, and I can say that vast majority of people have got stress today.
Yes.
Even though they don't really kind of
feel it, yes.
Feel it, but there's a stress subconscious. Mm-hmm. In creative society, there will be no stress.
It will
just imagine.
It will be illegal to have a stress in creative society. We'll make the law that it will be forbidden.
Exactly. Yes. And if we talk about stress, what is stress? Stress is fear of losing something, losing, let's say, ground from below feet, stress from not being able to afford a house, stress for not being able to, let's say, pay for children's education, stress for losing life, actually, if we go deeper. And
yes.
This is exactly the root cause for the stress, is the consumer form of society, that pushes us to work for survival.
And we can never catch it. We can never go to the top and say, yeah, we are now free, we managed to fulfill our needs. No, because you don't know what is going to be tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah. Now there might be another question which let's say people with whom we are talking about creative society ask or say, the rich people will never allow you to form this format of society. But maybe we can talk about it a little bit later. What do you think?
Maybe next show, because for today we are a little bit off the time. Yes, I know, when we speak to each other, the time goes very, very quickly. Marek, please say something for our listeners, some message that you want them to remember for this first show on English language.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here. What I would like to mention is that creative society is an opportunity for every one of us, for every one of you who is listening, to start living a good life for you and your kids. Creative society can give you a totally different life, and the only way how we can achieve it is if we start to be active, if we spread this information. So if you like this information, please spread the word, talk about it with your friends, with your colleague, and this is the way how it can reach all the people on the planet. Because at the end of the day, as the first foundation of creative society says, value of human life, everyone has got free will. If creative society will be built or not, it depends on the will of every one of us. So if we want to start living in a creative society or different world, whatever you will call it, we need to start being active. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Marek, for being our guest. Evo, dragi slušatelji, ovo je bila prva emisija koju ste čuli na engleskom jeziku. Reprizu ove emisije možete poslušati u nedjelju u 12 sati na valovima Radiju Brača, a također je možete poslušati na YouTube kanalu Kreativnog društva i na web stranici Kreativnog društva. Srdačan vam pozdrav od Dražena i Žele i čujemo se sljedeći tjedan.
Kreativno društvo. Žeđ za životom.